I just mean the actual skill territory. Oh, that looked like a bad hit to me. The 5-ball cut tremendously to the right, and for that to happen. Now Marcel rarely ever misses a. Yeah, I'll tell you, that was close.
Yeah, in terms of making contact with the 8 before the 5.
Yeah, just the way they sat, it didn't look possible to cut the purple 5 that high of the pocket on the long rail.
I think we're going to have another look at that. And I think you've got a pretty strong point there. Let's look again.
Yeah, look how it sits. Can you possibly even cut the 5-ball that much? Yeah, to me that was looked like a foul to me, but
that looks pretty conclusive.
Yeah, you'll see the 8. Yeah, I don't think it's going to make a huge difference on the outcome of this rack, but these players definitely and the referee want to get it right. Probably wants to hit this fairly easy. This is not what he wanted. And you could see a little tremor in the arm, and probably the soft shot, not the best recipe for those nerves.
Yeah, we've seen it manifested in a number of shots already in this match. Backs up what you were saying, that's key for him to overcome those nerves. We have the world ranking system now, of course, but prior to that, if you've been making a list of the top 10, maybe even the top 20 players in the world, I don't think he would have been in there. Now to be the runaway #1 so soon after that. An astonishing achievement, but just again, every time we build him up so far in this match, Jeremy, he goes and does something like that.
Yeah, and you know, I can tell just the timing's off just a hair to start for FSR, and that's why he fouled in that shot in game #1, because it did require some side spin. Anytime you're swerving the ball and the timing's off, it can certainly get away from you.
And so, despite his own apparent nerves and a couple of mistakes, on his side, Aranas looks as though he's going to lead 2-0.
And I think everyone knew about FSR as far as his talent. I think many labeled him more talented than his running mate, David Al-Kaidi. Just David had a little more know-how on how to cross the finish line, but FSR has shown us something special in every possible way. Consistency, coming with a great shot, winning. Very difficult angle here, not much angle at all. Type of shot that the players don't really want to go forward on the slick table. It's more of a stun. Wow, what a stroke.
Yeah, it's just the sort of shot that will settle those nerves a bit. Real confidence builder, and how much more of a boost would it be if you can go 3-0 up here? You would have expected at the start of the match for him to find himself in that position. He would have had to be flawless in the early exchanges. That hasn't been the case at all, and yet it looks as though he's going to open that big gap early on.
Yeah, and a big gap to where, like you said a moment ago, he should get more settled, especially this third rack had some nice shots to get this third rack, this third win.
Well, we saw all sorts of unexpected things on day 1 here in Brentwood. And this wasn't in the script either. James Aranas leads 3-0.
Well, a little unlucky there. Had a beautiful break off again with the one on the side. That is the dilemma at times. It does give us a golden break, but it does serve up the cue ball for your opponent as well.
Nice. Spanish Open at the same venue just before it.
Nice shot there, and that was more the timing I'm used to seeing from FSR. Very flowing stroke and very committed through impact. Never really gives in too much, and I think that's definitely no coincidence why he's had so much success. If he gets out here, we'll see another big part of his success with the break shot in rack number 5.
Okay, so this is much more like it. Aranas a bit unfortunate to scratch off the break. Sanchez Ruiz has extracted full price.
Sanchez Ruiz.
As the 9 wriggles in, he closes to 3-1.
This shouldn't get away from him, no matter which way he decides to play it. Oh, that looks light. And he caught the rail first. He's not going to be happy with that, not one bit. Yeah, kind of shot in between there, in my opinion. Didn't really commit to one way or the other. Now he could bank this cross corner to the upper left corner and kind of hold the cue ball behind the 9. I think that's the shot he's going to play. Oh, he let it go. So a huge mistake trying to get a little too much out of the snooker. And that's what the jump cue will do to you sometimes, Michael, is it'll make you kind of squeeze the cue ball a little much, and it got away.
And just when it was looking as though he was at least starting to build some sort of rhythm and momentum in this match, he's absolutely gifted Aranas the chance here to go 3 clear once more.
Yeah, and what happens with these shots, if Aranas can get it down, you really start to believe, you know, you can take down FSR.
Extension, please.
Or believe more, let's say. This is a little in between. Not the easiest as far as the speed control. He may pull it a couple rails for the 9 in the right side. He rolled it. So that means the nerves are starting to settle a little bit.
Yeah, and make no mistake about it. This is a scalp that's there for the taking. He's up against a man well below his brilliant best so far today. And he's almost halfway to victory already.
Now he's returned the favor with a dry break. And a good opportunity for James. Maybe an early win with a 3-9 here in a few shots. But FSR seems to be putting more power into the break than I remember. Maybe he sees something, you know, that other players have done, and I don't think it's any worry about, of course, our break rule. All right, he's got to come to the center of the table here. He wants to get nice and straight on the 2. That way he doesn't have to worry about the 6. Maybe this purple 5 is going to get the best of him here. It's close. He's not snookered, though. He's in a great position just to draw the cue ball up, maybe for a 3-9 combo. Now here, with so much congestion, you want to get position as quick as you can, even if you take a little harder shot on the combination. Like, it looks like prime positions between
Extension,
the purple
please.
5 and the brown 7. But that's a little touchy. Even if you had to take a thin combo, like say roll the blue 2 in and stay below or in between the brown 7 and the green 6 with the cue ball, he's going to go for the draw stroke. So a little bit of a gamble. Looks like he did real nice.
The early struggles of Francisco Sanchez Ruiz in this match were typified by his miss on a 3-9 combination in rack 3. That enables Aranas to go 3 clear for the first time in the match by making a 3-9 combination of his own. He's gone 3 ahead once more.
Aranas.
Could play behind the 8-9, but if the speed's off, you could surrender an easy shot. I like him running the cue ball here. he's way off. That was mishit by some piece. He's going to fluke the 2 in, but a lot of body movement as well, Michael.
I was going to say, even more so than the one we remarked upon earlier.
Yeah, but he missed his mark. Not only, of course, the hit on the 2, the speed was off. And he knew it right away as well. Okay. Does have an attacking thin cut on the red 3. But where is position? With inside. Really nice. It's going to get maybe elevated. Now the cue ball did. Now we'll see how he cues this. If he cues it with like a low right English, he's got to be a little concerned about the 2-rail scratch in the lower left corner. I think he's going to run it though. Yeah, it looks like more of a high ball. He's going to catch the 9. Should be all right.
Lost the first 3 racks, and now he's improved things since then. He hasn't been back to 1 behind at any stage. He can do it here, though, and just send a little reminder that he's on Aranas' shoulder as we head towards the business end of this first round contest.
Yeah, and if he gets out here to cut it to 5-4, how big is that fluke on the 2 in the last rack?
Well, in an elite field like this, you don't expect in any match really to have to wait until the 9th rack to see a run out from the break. Now that it has come though, it's gone the way of the world champion.
Just steadily wants to improve overall. He wants to, of course, like any player, once you start to make these achievements, you don't really, you know, you do get some thoughts of I can do some things maybe someone else has never done, but it really starts with just the grind itself, the process of, you know, your practice and getting into your matches in the best situations. So I don't think he's that type really to think, you know, I have to prove anymore, right? But I do think he did have a, you know, personal kind of vendetta with himself through many, many years of not getting maybe the results he wanted. And that's kind of been his never give up kind of mode. All right, big draw stroke coming on the 8.
Well, that was the last thing that could go wrong. Sanchez Ruiz has not led at any stage in this match. 3 racks from the winning line is a good time to hit the front, and that's what he's done. It's a hat-trick of break and runs. He leads 6-5.
Extension. And that's a huge mistake. Did he get the fluke?
Well, what goes around comes around, doesn't it? Because FSR's own turnaround in this match was started with a bit of good fortune.
And he's got to settle himself quickly, making a mental error with the shot clock situation and no extension left and a difficult 9-ball after a big fluke on the 8.
So Sanchez Ruiz had 3 break and runs in a row. He followed that sequence with a dry break.
And he's missed it. And not the hardest of kick shots to the short rail by the purple 5, but I think he's got to add a little speed here. The slick table wants to spread a bit.
Extension called.
If he's going to hit a high ball, and he's hitting a high ball, and looks like he's aiming quite a bit wide. That's going to spread a lot, and the experience gets him there, Michael.
Contact ball in hand.
What exactly do you mean by that, JJ?
The experience of the slick table, just knowing with the top English, the angle's going to spread right there. And so you either have to take away the top English, hit more of a center ball, or adjust the aim. You know, the rack or the match. And I think a little bit of a problem with the shot clock. Maybe had him pull the trigger a little quickly, and serious problems for FSR.
Ball in
And
hand.
talk about the shot clock. That may have been a problem with him there as well.
I think absolutely.
Please stop it.
And just when it looked as though the initiative had been surrendered in this rack, it's been handed straight back emphatically to Aranas. What a chance now.
He's trying to find a pocket. Doesn't pass the black 8. Doesn't pass the brown 7. He's going to try and kill it with a little English and fall behind the purple 5. Look at this, the speed control. How is it, Michael? Position shot of the match.
Well, we talked earlier about the new challenge that comes when you find yourself potentially on the brink of pulling off a big result like this. And how he would respond to it.
Please.
As you say, that shot gives good indications in that regard.
Please.
Yeah, and I think he's fallen to where he doesn't want to elevate the cue, and I think maybe he needs to hold position for the 6. Tight side pockets here at the Whirlpool Masters. This looks like it's going to be perfect, Michael. And now the table's set. Just wants to stun the cue ball out lightly. It's somewhat straight on the 7. He can handle a little angle from above. He's actually gotten perfect here, and FSR's Whirlpool Masters is looking very grim.
In a tournament like this, with such an elite field and so many great players in it, the scope for genuine shocks is pretty limited, really. But this would definitely fall into that category.
And James has played very steady and came with the shots when he needed. Not FSR's best, though.
The defending champion is already out. And
Aranas
now,
goes to right.
the world champion has followed him through the exit door. James Aranas, the wild card, ranked number 75 in the world, has beaten the best on the planet. He sees off FSR 9-7.
Can just see the left edge here. These are horrible shots when you're just trying to snip the thin edge. If he hits it too thick, he's going to leave the pot. Oh wow, what a shot that is. They are horrible shots, beautifully done.
That's the shot of a 22-year-old with not a lot of mental scar tissue.
many shots we've played now, each player. Nineball's a very fast game, usually 2 or 3 safety shots and someone would have a chance. This has been going on. I think the Nineball's blocked again. He had to go for the bank there. Or maybe he can just get through.
It's tight, but I think with the application of side, he can persuade this in.
See, referee's having a good look as well. Yep, well done. Good shot.
There's no doubt Zheng rode his luck at the end of that rack. Towards the latter stages, he was a little bit fortunate, to say the least. But he's over the line and he draws first blood.
Come over for the pink 4. Purple 5 is next. So he wants to get down on the right hand side of the table. This is nicely done. This is going to offer guaranteed position on the green 6.
Now that was quite a simple pot call, but with the butt of the cue elevated, he made that look a lot more straightforward than it actually was.
Yeah, he's quite tall, is Wiktor, so them shots seem a lot easier when you're a little taller. It was a good break off. It's all about making that ball in the side, and that is always going to keep you at the table. And then it's just a case of seeing what the table layout gives you.
He was a little unlucky, I thought, to lose the opening rack, but now Wiktor Zielinski hits the front, and in style. Zheng is from the Anhui province in eastern China. Oh, that was a poor one, wasn't it? Okay, the scratch will cost him dear, no doubt, but he cued right across that.
Start the shot clock, please.
Yeah, there's another look. Had to get the cue ball out, bit of deceleration, and that's why the cue ball scratched. And moving forward in this match, that just unsettles you. Especially if you're faced with another long pot fill at some point. It's hard to block that out in memory.
The one thing I like about Zielinski, well, there's lots of things I like about him. One in particular, the looseness of the cue action. Never seems to be much tension in that arm, and that's always a good thing. Tension inhibits. Just a little concerned that he'd overdone the cue ball there, but it's only fractionally. This is no problem whatsoever. It's 3 racks in succession for Wiktor Zielinski.
Yeah, they can see the angle. He can't really hold for the 7 now. Don't know if he's even looked at the combination. Well, he's playing exhibition shots. He's got to avoid the right centre pocket. It's going to be close. It's a goner.
Foul shot. Bow in hand.
He just got a ray of hope as the cue ball went towards that near jaw of the middle pocket. Just take a look at this. Had he caught a little bit more of the near jaw, it would have stayed out. But it just grazed off that jaw and dropped. He looked to...
Yeah, we'll get another look at this break in a moment, but it looked like coming off the yellow one ball, he was too thin. So let's just see where the cue ball goes onto this side rail. Yeah, you see how it comes lower down the rail? The players are trying to get the cue ball on a parallel line across the face of the pack. So whenever you hit it too thin, it just always ends up being an ugly break, and that's what it was. So it's a chance for Zheng now to put that previous rack out of his mind.
Second match of the day at the Whirlpool Masters, where Zheng Huai, who's just taken the 6th rack, breaks off in the 7th, trailing Wiktor Zielinski 4-2. Remember, first round matches in the Whirlpool Masters this year are a race to 9. Oh, and could this be
Bow in hand.
the exact opposite of what occurred in rack 6? Then it was a scratch that cost the loser dear. You might imagine exactly the same thing is going to happen here, Cole.
Yeah, if we look at this break again, it's the bottom side of the 9. That's why he scratched, as where, if you remember Max Lettner's breaks last night, he hit the top side of the 9, which helped him get 3 goldens.
Oh, and that certainly isn't what he wants.
Yep, that has gone drastically wrong. Trying to cut the ball in. He may have been forced into that, to be fair. It obviously landed a little bit awkward after Zheng played the shot. Ball in hand. Now it goes without saying, Phil, doesn't it? You just feel he's got to clear the table now. Ball in hand, all the balls in the open. It just bites more on a brand new table in this setting. The spin doesn't take the same, so it's an awkward shot. Main thing is he can pot this ball. Oh, and he's missed it. He's missed it by a long way. I suppose the cue ball has gone a little near the rail. So Zheng's got to come with something. Here's another look, just fires it into the top rail. Big moment coming up now in this match. It's been a little bit like a game of tennis, back and forth. This, remember, he's already missed a shot similar very early on in the match on the pink 4. Oh, he's hit that one real sweet indeed. And from nowhere, Phil, looked like Zielinski was going to go 6-3 up, which is a good lead in a race to 9. And just these couple of balls, and Zheng is back in this match. 2 great matches, has to be said, so far. The opening match with the world #1 was a classic, and this one is also going to be a classic as well, you feel.
Foul shot.
Well, he's overspun the cue ball.
Bow in hand.
What a mistake that is.
Start the clock, please.
You see all kinds of foul shots, don't you, Carl, during the course of a tournament, but that is a very unusual one.
Yeah, I mean, that might be the only time it happens the whole week. He'll definitely go for the pot here, though. Yep, and he's missed it. These 4-inch pockets. Certain angles on the rail, the pocket will still swallow it up, but you don't appreciate how big the pool table is. It's like 9 feet, so it was pretty much a full-length table pot there. And Nineball players are used to playing into a bigger pocket, so from that angle, You never really fancy it. Chance here for Zheng. Can he cut this ball in the middle? Use the 9 as a hold. He can. He's gone in. That's okay.
We saw there on the graphic, didn't we, a few moments ago, 4 missed spots from Zielinski. 3 of those have been on the 7 ball. Undercut the 7 in rack 9. That cost him. He's missed it twice in this rack. Zheng Xiao Huai will not go away. Or more to the point, Wiktor Zielinski just can't quite seem to pull away. It was 5-2 to the Polish star. Now, though, his lead trimmed to only 6-5, and that was...
Trailing by 5 racks to 6.
There's the golden break. It is the 6th of the tournament, but the first of today. And it carries Zheng Xiaohui onto level terms, just like that, at 6 racks each. Look at that, straight in. And if Wiktor Zielinski was feeling a little off after losing the previous rack, he'll be feeling even worse right now. This match has taken a very different and swift turn.
Queuing off the rail. And look where the cue ball's going again, Phil. So this is just shot after shot where he's not getting the cue ball where he wants. Having a good cue ball control in any cue sport is vital.
Well, the 7 ball has given him all kinds of trouble in this match. There, though, that was terrific, especially with the application of so much side.
Yeah, he had to swing the cue ball around the table, didn't he, for this black 8 ball. He did well there. That's where the experience comes in. He's been in many matches, you know, he's played all the top players, he's had wins, he's lost matches, and this is what you've got to draw on, your experience as a pool player. And finally, Phil, he's gonna get himself to number 7. It's not a race to 7 anymore. The races have gone up to 9.
Power shot. Bow in hand.
Desislava Boschel over the referee was right
Start the
there.
clock, please.
We saw it as well. 7 ball contacted first.
Well, he needs the extension. He's very tall, is Wiktor, so this must be a big stretch. He will have been delighted to see Zheng flick the 7 and foul.
By his normal standards, this has not been pretty, but Wiktor Zielinski now nicely placed to gain the main objective, which is a victory.
Get back out of his chair and try and get this match back to Hill. 2-rail kick.
Power shot.
Missed the edge. He has
Ball in
missed
hand.
the edge.
Start the
Something
clock,
he
please.
simply could not afford to do, and for the umpteenth time this afternoon, Zielinski has ball in hand. 6 fouls committed by Zheng.
Six fouls, wow. We're seeing a lot of stats here this week that they're a little bit peculiar. I'm surprised. Well, this must be dead set. I mean, it's not dead set, but he feels like he can cut it in. But, you know, he had ball in hand. I'm not sure why he didn't look at trying to break the balls out there. Well, it was dead set.
It is in. Wiktor Zielinski, one of the finest prospects in the world of 9-ball, progresses. It wasn't his best performance. No way, no how, but he's through anyway.
False stroke.
Yeah,
Illegal
that's
contact.
very
Ball in.
unlike Albin Ouschan, though. I'm not saying it was an easy hit, but he was trying to go 3 rails there.
Restart the clock.
He's going to look straight into the blue too.
18 months ago. 2-0 here.
False stroke.
Well, the one thing I've noticed here is I know
Ball
he
in hand.
scratched there, but take that aside for a second. He's glad to see one of the pool
Please
players
start it.
breaking at full speed, Michael. We're seeing the players take a little bit off it, and I think moving forward, this would be a smart move because
Careers in terms of preparation, but when they're out there in the arena, Ouschan carries on that intense way of thinking, puts every last drop into it. Kaci, as you were saying, much more laid back. So Kaci leading 2-0. Scratched from the break. And fairly straightforward from there for Albin Ouschan to open his account. He now trails by 2 racks to 1 in this first round match.
but we'd love to get the cue ball in the centre of the table. So he's got 2 options here. Do you just pull it back and risk leaving it? Or does he try and rip it right the way back off the top rail as well? Bit of an exhibition shot. Is this one? No, he took the first option. He just guaranteed himself the pot and left the cue ball there. Didn't want to do too much work, which is fine. Nicely done again. Controlled the purple 5 as well.
Yeah, it always seemed more likely than not that if that shot worked out, he'd have a straight run to the line, and that's exactly how it's turned out. So should be 2-2 in a few moments.
Yeah, the previous match between Zielinski and Zheng, both still at the early stages of getting used to this type of setup, but what we're seeing now is a player who's pretty much done it all in the game of 9-ball.
Evolution.
Yeah, Kaçi's also changed his game quite a lot. He used to stay down on the queue, so from like what he's doing now, he used to stay down very long.
That may come perhaps from the fact that I know he's an accomplished snooker player, and that would be more the way of doing things in that game.
Yeah, maybe so. But he's definitely changed it over the last few years. You can see there, he still stays down quite long. There's nothing wrong with that, just pointing it out. But he's definitely sped his game up somewhat.
Well, we heard him use the words 1 by 1 at the end of that interview segment there. So far, this match has been going 2 by 2. Won the first couple of racks, then lost 2 in a row after that. But since his opponent scratched off the break at the start of rack 5, it's once again 2 in a row for Kaci. He's going along very nicely here. He leads Albin Ouschan by 4 racks.
Still a big favourite to pot this 2 in the corner though. Does have to watch the cue ball. It may track towards the top right hand corner. It's close. You could see the intention that he was trying.
Yeah, concerning times these for Ouschan. 4-2 is a very manageable position to be in, but it's at that sort of situation. We're far enough into the match now that if the lead gets any bigger, real concern then. Yeah, and I think what's great about it is it really underlines one of the great strengths of pool, just how global it is. And prime example of that, you saw Slovakia going in a couple of years ago as the least fancy team in the whole thing and trounced Austria, the holders, in round 1. So we got 2 clear earlier in the match. And despite a dry break here, he's now gone 3 ahead for the first time. Kaçi looking very dangerous here to Albin Ouschan. He leads now 5-2.
Yep, it's just completely different. This is the break. Pool players, this is the break. The power break is what Nineball is about. And Kaci is doing it to perfection.
Yeah, not surprising to see that stat there. Ouschan must be feeling he's not really got involved in this match yet. Did win those couple of racks in a row, but other than that, it's been a deeply frustrating experience for him. But what's happened there?
Yeah, he had to play in the top corner to get position on the 7, and it was not easy. That was a lot thinner than that looks. Purely because of the power. People don't realise, if you've never played Nineball, when you play it for the first time, you can't believe how big the pool ball actually is. You know, the tip diameter that the players are using are anywhere from 11.5 all the way up to 13.5. Oh, nicely done. What a shot that is when you're 6-2 down, by the way. Is this the... Sorry, Michael.
Just going to say, it looks as though Kaci's been stopped in his tracks. Had the chance to make it 5 racks in a row and get within 2 of victory. Is this the start of a turnaround from Ouschan? He closes to 6-3. This time, back to the present day. Ouschan, 6-4 down. Oh, watch the 9. Another golden break. And Albin Ouschan continues his recovery in very swift fashion in rack 11. And all of a sudden, he's only 1 behind. It's 6-5. We're seeing quite a few of these, Carl, but I don't think there's any particular reason for it other than the quality of players we've got here.
Yeah, I mean, it's just down to the break. Obviously, they're playing a hard cut break. There's always a chance. Seem easy to him, but he's not a big shot like this in so far in this match at 6-2 down. Needs another good one.
Yeah, that's two absolute crackers he's pulled out under pressure now during this turnaround. So having not got to the table at all in any of the 3 racks leading up to this, Eklent Kaçi did have a chance to influence matters in rack 13, but played a poor shot. Opened the door for Ouschan, and with the momentum he's got behind him now, you always fancied the rack was going to end this way from there. This has been an example of Ouschan at his clinical best. And finally, for the first time in the match, Albin Ouschan leads. He's now won 5 racks in a row.
Distance has proved to be Kaci's friend, because Albin's made a mess of this one. This is a chance, and it's the right hand side of the 8. Speed is going to be key, because he doesn't want the 8 to bounce back off and hook him on the 7. Will he risk going in the middle of them both? He's played a soft little bump, boy. He's played it lovely.
Lovely touch, and it looks as though he's going to lead once again for the first time since it was 6-5.
Yeah, it was the speed he played the previous shot, which is going to help him win this rack, and it's the rack that's going to get him on the hill. We're yet to have a hill-hill match. Is this the one?
It isn't that long a time since he was 6-2 in front, but it sure feels like it. From that position, he lost 5 in a row to go behind for the first time in the match. Ouschan was the firm favourite then. But Kaci has responded so well. He's won 2 in a row, and he'll be
he's just a couple of shots away here now from securing the win here. He's took care of the red 3. Now we'll just float down table. It's hard to see where this goes wrong. If it is going to go wrong, it can simply be from the 8 to the 9.
Well, the ball he's lining up now is the one he missed to let Ouschan back into the match. From 2-all, he pulled away to 6-2. Had the chance to go further clear, missed the 5. Ouschan pulled out a great pot to start the turnaround. And when the Austrian led 7-6, he looked the favourite all over. Been a match of streaks. 2 in a row for Kaci, same for Ouschan. 4 in a row for Kaci, then 5 on the spin from Ouschan. But for all the world now, it looks as though it's going to finish with 3 in a row for Eklent Kaci. Although he's much too good a player for this to be regarded as a massive shock, it is going to be another match that goes against expectations. And Ouschan's disappointing history in this tournament is set to continue. Whereas Kaci, if he can just take care of this one last task here and pot this 9, will be through to a quarter-final, potentially against another Austrian, Mario Huai, who plays Alexander Kazakis this evening.
Yeah, the cue ball's not ideal here, though. I would have liked it there. That gives you a better idea of the steep angle Kaci is faced with. This 9-ball for the match.
He's withstood the resistance, the fight back, the determination of Albin Ouschan. He lost 5 racks in a row from 6-2 in front, but he's come good in the finish. It's a very significant win for Eklent Kaci.